Hello everyone, I am Dr. V. Srividya from JFGC Biddi. The subject which I am going to discuss in this video is cost management. Topic is absorption costing, cost classification under absorption costing. This is for the 6th semester BCom and it is in the Unit 2. First we'll see what is this absorption costing. Absorption costing is also known as full costing since it includes all the costs associated with production. Variable costs are direct labor and material costs. Fixed costs include rent, security and insurance expenses. Semi-variable costs include electricity charges for the factory. So here we can clearly see that absorption costing can also be called as full costing. Why it is so means uh, actually when we are preparing the cost sheet which you would have studied in cost accounting regarding the cost sheet like prime cost, factory cost, production cost, cost of production, all this we were accounting. We are taking into consideration. In this absorption costing, it not only takes variable cost but also fixed cost into consideration. So while preparing the cost sheet itself, in prime cost, you get direct materials, direct labor, and direct expenses. After you arrive at prime cost, you need to add all the factory cost to that. So when you are adding factory cost to that factory cost, you should not only add variable cost, which is related to that particular product, also the fixed cost should be added. So when you add up this both variable and fixed cost related to factory, then you will get factory cost. So that is the reason it is called as full costing, as it takes into consideration not only variable cost but also fixed cost. Fixed cost, variable cost, and semi-variable cost. All the costs will be taken into consideration in absorption costing. It absorbs all types of cost which is incurred for a product. What is the definition given by Chartered Institute of Management Accountants is it defines the absorption costing as the process of charging all cost, both variable and fixed, operation, process or products. Under absorption costing system, all production related to cost, direct or indirect, fixed or variable, are included in the unit cost. So cost sheet is prepared to know the unit cost of the product. So it's very helpful to know what is the per unit cost of the product, and that we come to know by preparing the cost sheet. So while preparing the cost sheet, as usual, like when we take into consideration normally, what we do is we take up all the variable cost and in the end, altogether we're adding the fixed cost. But here in absorption costing, under each cost, as I told in the last slide, for factory cost, even both variable, semi-variable and fixed will be added, and there you will come to know what is the factory cost per unit of the product. Once you arrive at factory cost, next again what you are going to add is selling this one office expenses and administration expenses and all. So there also you are going to add both variable and fixed cost. Then you will get the office expenses cost whatever is incurred. So when you are arriving at that, you in that per unit cost both variable and fixed cost will be included. What are the objectives of absorption costing? To know direct and indirect costs separately. So while accounting will be taking direct cost separately and indirect cost separately. So we'll come to know how much we are incurred for directly and how much we are incurred indirectly. To know department wise participation in cost. Since in absorption costing we are going to find out per unit cost per department, each category wise, while because as we are calculating we'll come to know what each department has incurred cost wise. To know the overall cost of the product, finally we are going to arrive at the overall cost of the product also, to analyze the data related to production and to confirm that the resources are properly used or not. So what all is related to production will be analyzed and we can check whether all the resources are used properly or not, to find out and fixing the sale price to be quoted in the market. So once we arrive at the total cost and once we know what is the profit margin we should have for that particular product, we can quote the price for the market. So these are the objectives of absorption costing. It helps very much to fix up the price. Then what is this? Features of absorption costing. Period cost. All administration, selling and distribution overheads are treated as period cost. Therefore, these are written off against the profits in the period in which they arise. So in the features, we can see that it is stated that all administration, selling and distribution overheads will be treated as period cost. And these are written off against the profits in that particular period which they are arisen. Then classification on functional basis. All costs are classified on functional basis as production cost, administration cost, selling cost, distribution cost. So this we have already discussed in the previous semesters and all about the cost sheet, how we are calculating the cost stepwise. Here also it is the same, only the difference is in each cost, even the fixed cost will be included. Treatment as product cost, all variable manufacturing costs and fixed production overheads are treated as product cost and hence are charged to operation processes in the cost products. So here the treatment will be taken as product cost. So whatever cost is incurred related to manufacturing cost and it can be fixed production overheads and this will be treated as product cost. Next we'll see what are the components of absorption costing. In absorption costing, what all is covered? So in the cost sheet, when we are doing cost sheet itself, we know what are the components of cost sheet. It is same. It is almost everything is same. As I told you, only thing is you have to take up even the fixed cost, whichever is related to that. So in the components of absorption costing, you have direct materials, those materials that is included in a finished product, direct labor, the factory labor cost required to construct a product. So materials which you are using directly for converting it to finished product will be termed as direct materials. And to convert this direct materials into product, whatever labor is used for the same will be called as direct labor. Variable manufacturing overhead, the cost to operate a manufacturing facility, which vary with production volume. Examples are supplies and electricity for production department. So variable manufacturing overhead is when this varies as per the production. If you increase the production, the cost also will increase. The number of units, it is based on the number of units manufactured. Suppose if you are manufacturing 5,000 units, the electricity used for that, say maybe it will be around 10,000. Suppose if you want to manufacture 6,000, then the electricity charges also will increase. Maybe it might increase to 12,000. So this varies as per the production. That will be termed as variable manufacturing overhead. Then what is this fixed manufacturing overhead? The cost to operate a manufacturing facility which do not vary with production volume. Examples are rent and insurance. See, this also is clearly stated here that fixed manufacturing overhead, uh, in spite of the number of units manufactured, it is irrelevant on how many units you are going to produce, but the cost will be the same. Let it be 5,000 units or 10,000 units, you have to pay the rent. You can't tell that this month the production has decreased, so I'll pay lesser rent. No, rent is fixed. So you need to pay in spite of the number of units in variation, whether it is going to be less or more or whatever it is, the rent will be fixed. So that is called as fixed manufacturing overhead. So till now we have discussed about variable and fixed manufacturing overhead. What is variable manufacturing overhead and fixed manufacturing overhead? And there it is mentioned as manufacturing. Why it is mentioned as manufacturing is whatever is related to production, whatever is related to manufacturing process, that will be treated as variable manufacturing overhead and fixed. Some of the examples what we can take for variable is the best example is materials. If you want to use, if you want to manufacture more number of units, materials consumed also will be more. If you want to manufacture less number of units, the materials used also will be less. It is similar to, it is applicable even to labor also. Suppose suddenly there is demand. See now, when we take into consideration in summer, there will be more demand for this cool drinks like Pepsi, Coca Cola, Miranda, or whatever it is. So at that time, what this production department will do is they will hire more laborers, hire to manufacture more number of units. Since the demand is more, with the available laborers, if the available workers, if they are not able to cope up with the production, what they will do is they'll try to hire more number of workers. So when they are hiring more number of workers, they have to pay wages for those workers who were hired additionally. So what happens in addition to the regular labor, they have to pay uh, wages even to the additional labor. So here there is variation. That is number of units is increased and also the labor cost also increased. So that is the reason here we can rightly tell this all are variable overheads. Why in the name itself it is mentioned variable. Why it is variable is it goes on varying with the number of units manufactured. Similarly, fixed overheads, as I told you, rent and insurance charges, whatever they are paying monthly, that has to be paid irrespective of the number of units manufactured. It can be zero units or it can be at the hike of 50,000 units or whatever it is. There is no limit for that. So when they are manufacturing the units, irrespective of the number of units, the fixed cost will be the same. So such type of cost can be termed as uh, fixed manufacturing overheads. So in the forthcoming sessions, we'll be discussing about what is marginal costing also. So that time we will be able to differentiate between absorption costing and marginal costing. So till now we have discussed about what is absorption costing and what are its objectives and what are the components. What are the components covered under absorption cost? I hope this session of mine would be helpful to you understand about absorption costing. If you have any doubts, please feel free to contact me. Thank you all for hearing my video and the reference books I have quoted here for this particular topic where I have taken the materials. It is here. If you want to know in depth, you also can refer this reference books. Thank you all.